Hey everybody, welcome back to Media Induced. Today on the show we get down and dirty in The Division. But first, our shot word. Shot word of the day is actually. Let's get started. Actually, today we're going to talk about 3 games. More specifically, Destiny, and even more specifically, Motes of Light and what you can do with them now. Since the new update, you'll probably notice that Zerd doesn't really want them for anything, and the speaker doesn't really want them for anything. So what do you do with them? Well, if you hover your mouse over them, you'll get a small description, basically telling you to upgrade your gear. But then if you hit the X button and hold it down, you use them. Use 5, 10, 20, 420 if you're like me. More specifically 427, but okay. So you use the Motes of Lights. What do they do? Well, let's say you have a piece of gear that's not fully upgraded. Well, you use the Motes of Light and the level is all the way up. Now you just have to buy each individual upgrade that you want, and it'll be fully upgraded. No longer having to work it off or shoot a bunch of bad guys to get your gear leveled up. Now you can use Motes of Light and then just pay the glimmer and relic shards or relic iron or whatever it is that you need to do to upgrade it. Next up, Halo 5. Now, you'll probably be wondering why we're talking about Halo 5 since it came out quite a while ago, and even Destiny since it came out quite a while ago. But these games have been out long enough for us to critique them now. I mean, we've played them, we've leveled them up, we've beaten the games. I mean, now we can actually get into what is real the problem. So, spoilers ahead. Here we go. Halo 5. What they did right and what they did wrong. What they did right is the movements and basic controls and your guns. Phenomenal job on the gun side and the movement side and the thrust and the melee. Sure, that's all fine and dandy, but you forgot a key fundamental of the entire game. The rec packs. Nobody likes the rec packs. Basically because there's no control over the rec packs. You play the game, you level up, you earn some credits, and then with those credits you buy these rec packs that are completely random that nobody has any clue what's going to be inside. So if you have a particular set of gear that you're looking for or trying to get, you may be playing for a very long time before you get that set of gear. If you're like me, you still haven't gotten it, even years later, after you've spent like maybe $100 on rec packs. So what's the point? What's the point, 343? What they could have easily done is, like in Halo 4, they had the class-based system, where if you're a driver, let's say you get stunned by a plasma pistol charge, your vehicle stalls out. Well, it wouldn't stall for that long. It would stall out maybe like 1 or 2 seconds, and you could get up and go again. Right? They could easily do something like that with the rec systems. Like say you're a driver and, you get a driver rec pack, which is vehicles and, qualifications and what have you. Or your weapons rec pack, or armor rec pack. Or something, some sort of organization to the madness. But no, it's completely random, and you'll be playing for a very long time to get the things that you want. But we've talked about Destiny, we've talked about Halo. Let's move on to The Division and Aifkem's Guide to Surviving in that Division. This is where the intro goes. I made an intro. If you're playing campaign or Dark Zone, this applies. If you're just starting out or you've been playing for a while, do not sell your loot. You're going to get loot. What you want to do with that is deconstruct it. Create the materials, then you get these blueprints that are for amazing guns, and you use the blueprints and the materials to build it. There you go. Tip number 2. Don't go anywhere alone. Always have a battle buddy. Get your friends or, a total stranger, someone you can trust, and play the game. Now, campaign, Dark Zone, this still applies. You're going to want a teammate to help you out, because there's some pretty bad, gnarly zones in the campaign, and there's even worse zones in the Dark Zone. And you're going to wish you had some backup to either revive you or to, get you out of a jam. Which brings us to rule number 3. Don't go anywhere you're not supposed to. Certain zones are designated for certain levels, and if you go to a zone that's a little higher level than you are, you'll find it very difficult to survive. even with battle buttons. So go to the zones because they cater to a very certain level. Play those zones and then move on once you level up. Now rules number 4 and 5 pertain to specifically the Dark Zone, but that doesn't make them any less important. In fact, it's probably the most important rules. Number 4, don't trust anyone. Total strangers will pretend to be your friends, team up with you, and 5 seconds later, stab you in the back for your gear. Even friends will stab you in the back for your gear. So make sure you're playing this game with someone you can trust. Which brings us to rule number 5. Don't trust anyone. Now I, luckily, have found a few players that I can play with who won't stab me in the back, and we work as a team. You need to find the same. So here's a little side tips and hints to help you out. Let's say you just want to level up your Dark Zone level. Well, don't pick anything up. If you don't have anything to steal, people are less likely to stab you in the back to steal it. You get a little yellow bag on your back when you have loot that people can take. So if you don't pick up any loot, they don't have anything to steal. Less likely to kill you. Also, if you're extracting something and someone shows up, probably a bad sign. If you're all alone and there's 2 or more players that show up, that's a bad situation. And they're probably going to kill you and take your stuff. So if you're trying to extract something and people start showing up, just hightail it out of there. Live to extract another day. And there you go. Those are your little tips and hints to survive in the Division. And your 5 rules to staying alive in the Division. By Aifkem. That's me. Well, if you liked the episode, go ahead and hit the like button. If you didn't, go ahead and don't. If you really liked the episode, hit the subscribe button. And you can watch my other episodes. Or if you just want to find me on the interwebs, you can find me on Facebook, Xbox Live, YouTube, or shoot me an email at Gmail. But that's all I got, so tune in next time when we go behind the scenes on how to shoot a scene. Which is actually more difficult than you would think. Cheers. Yes, I like me my velvet.